Oh shit, we live.
It's been a while. I kind of forgot what I'm doing here. Okay, yeah. So, welcome back, or welcome for those who are new to Breaking the Stigma. This is a men's mental health podcast uh, with your hosts. There's three of us. I am Dex, as you can see in the bottom left corner. For those who are, well, this is only on YouTube, so bottom left corner uh, of my box. This is Matt, but you can address him as the bearded one, and you better not disrespect him because don't do that. Don't play with your life like that.
Don't poke the
Pastor
bear.
Dre, my big brother Dre, Pastor Dre, he'll be here when he gets
He
here.
gets here.
Yeah, it's Dre. So
Gray
yeah,
tells time in a different universe than the rest of us.
he really does. He really does. So so, but yeah, we're back. Wow, it's only been a minute. I was like, I did all that rambling a bit. Now I probably need to show. Oh, it's been 60
We're
seconds.
back. We're rusty, but we're here. The
Yeah,
ring rust is real.
we're real rusty, but yeah. I feel like Sting when he first got back to damn AEW. It was
Looks a little mechanical.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I guess we should do our usual "How was your week?" ramble until we get Dre here.
sure. So
How's life been for Dex since we've been gone for what 6 months, 7 months? I don't even know. When was our last show?
it's been almost a year.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, life will do that.
So you asked how I've been since the last time I sat in front of this camera with you and Dre. Difficult. Difficult is the nicest word I could use to describe how things have been since we last did a show. If you're asking how I've been, I think I think a good word would be murky. I've been I'm trying to stay afloat, but everything around me in some way, shape, or form feels like it's all it's right now it's everything's mud colored and the mud is mixing with the little bit of water that I have around my personal little boat in life. So I feel like I'm now going through what life would turn is turning into a swamp, and it's just I'm not a Mississippi mud boat, so I can't just chuck through that. See, I was working with the Phoenix Suns uh prior to right before Thanksgiving of this year. I was working with the Phoenix Suns for previously for the last for 14 months. So September of 2021, I started working with the Suns. We didn't talk about it on the show, but that's the reason why the show basically went away. It's because
Your
my
schedule
work,
is crazy.
yeah, my work schedule was closed. It was always closing, and my only off days were Monday and Tuesday. Our normal show day was Monday, but getting home and it's either 11 p.m. On an early night, midnight on most nights that's not a game night, or 1 p.m. on Sundays, and well, actually 1 p.m. on 1 a.m. on Saturdays, and concert and game nights. trying to do a show, my brain didn't really turn on. I just started I started living life in autopilot. It was okay. This is my routine. This is what I got to do. Keep it moving. Because think, if it involved getting up, it was tiring. So that's what I was working for the last 14 months until Thanksgiving of this year. Then I switched jobs and I'm working somewhere else now. But in that time, my house has dealt with some very, very painful things that me nor Kim have been able to truly heal from or even get the real therapy we need for it. This show was therapy for me, trying to help others, but it helped me discuss the things that I was going through as well. And it wasn't there. And both me and Kim, we just struggled to stay above water. I'm not gonna lie to you. I could look in her eyes and she could look in my eyes, and we both knew we were struggling to stay alive. My best friend, my sister died on February 6th. Kim's first cousin died right after her birthday. And then her grandmother died in May. And then my uncle died in September. So,
You're punch drunk at this point.
Yeah. And it's ironic because the title of this show about being the man, and I felt like I was failing the house because, I can only do so much, and Kim's already she's already made it very public and very known. I'm not working 2 jobs. It's not happening. What up, Dre? He got it back to back. Is that innuendo, sir? Is oh, that's a message to the haters. All right, cool. Bet. Gotcha. But yeah, so between basically losing 4 of the closest people to my home that isn't you or Dre down there, me and Kim have been pretending that we're okay, but literally struggling not to drown when it came to finances and emotions. And the only reason why we're falling, or we're starting to hit road bumps right now financially, is because I'm not paying for tuition for 1 child. It's 2. So, and college don't care. They're like, oh yeah, you had class today. Well, here's a list of more books that you need. You need them by Saturday. Surprise.
Yeah, colleges love to do that shit.
Kim and I have spent maybe almost $600 in books in the last 2.5 days. So
that's ridiculous how much books cost.
Yeah. So all of that stuff happened, and then I try to pretend like I'm okay with it, and I know that the process is winding down, but Sedgwick, on behalf of DaVita, offered Kim a settlement, and the amount that they offered was basically 2/3 of a year's pay for her. And I don't even know how to try to continue to be logical and be the support for her when this is how they're doing, and they just literally are saying, oh yeah, well, we know that you destroyed your body on behalf of us at work. Here's a quarter of what you would have made over the year, for a year, go home, go away. We don't care about you no more. Go away. It it hurts. It hurts. And being the head of the house, I try to express my emotions and my feelings, but there's still things that it just it lodges inside, and it's just I cry at night. I cry at night a lot. I cry. I smoke, and I try to figure out how the hell I'm gonna connect these dots. I'm trying to become finally not have to pay others for where we live per se. I'm trying not to have to continue to rent or lease for the rest of my life, but get a home for ourselves so we can at least have something to pass on to the kids and whatever future generations that our family has. But that means I have to address all of the mistakes that the younger me have made, and affects me financially on my credit score. So it's yeah, and trying to do all that while trying to pay for books, pay for tuition, make sure that both kids have food, because they're on two different campuses. One is in Tempe and one's in Phoenix. They're not next to each other. That's literally almost 50 miles apart. So I got to make sure they both have the food that they need. They got the books that they can get. I had to tell them, and it's been breaking. It's been tearing at me. We're basically getting to a point where I'm not going to be able to pay your tuition or the bigger things. I can help you with the smaller things when you need it, but we got to get to the point to where y'all are able to stand on your feet and be able to fend for yourself. Because, and I was telling Kim, and when I'm talking to Kim about it, my brain goes logically, so the emotions don't really bubble up. But once we're done talking and she's upstairs and I'm down here on the computer playing a game or watching a video, the emotions just erupt. It's like, I don't want these kids to think I gave up on them when I stop paying things like tuition and things like that, because I'm not going to be spending my life waking up every day to my kids. I'm going to spend my life every day waking up to my wife. So I have to think about me and her. I can't tailor my every move in life about these kids no more. They're about to be 19 and 20.
Yeah, they got to start providing for themselves.
And I know that the longer that I continue to pay for the major things, I'm kneecapping my kids to where they're going to just expect things to happen when it can't. And it makes me feel, and part of me is just like, I'm worried that they're going to feel like I don't love them no more, or I just don't want them to succeed, or I'm giving up. And that's the furthest from the truth. But if I'm spending the rest of my life with your mom, I have to think about me and your mom and as a unit. And you two are the offspring. You two are the legacy you're supposed to carry on. Not I'm not. We're not trust fund babies. I can't be taking care of y'all forever. I can be there to support you, but I can't. I can't take care of you forever. And that's been tearing at me since October. So, yeah, 2022 sucked.
Yeah, 2022 was a kick to the balls.
2022 tried to castrate me. It didn't kick me in the balls. It tried to cut them off. Anywho, welcome back, Dre. How you feeling?
Exhausted.
Well, I'm pretty sure you have a good story on why you're exhausted. And yes, one of my daughters is vegan. So if anybody's grocery shopped in the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 years, you know, if it says vegetarian or vegan, it's more expensive because healthy labels cost more money.
Yeah. See, this is why you need me to come teach your girls how to garden.
They're learning how to garden. Kim has been teaching them, and well, before anybody says, "Well, why don't you just eat meat?" They can't.
Hmm.
Medically, they can't. Their bodies cannot process the enzymes in meat. Their bodies reject it. And no, it's not as rare as you think. So grow up, go Google something. You got the internet at your fingertips that you're watching us on. Google something. No, it's not rare, and yes, it is affecting way more people than you want to admit. Bums.
I think a lot of that affecting has to do with the fact of all the hormones and bullshit that they pump into these cows. It used to be, these animals were naturally fed, natural grass, all this natural stuff. Then it was good for you.
Yeah. If you
Once you
get
start using
natural,
chemicals to replace all that shit, that's when bad stuff happens.
if you get natural, if you get the cows or pork or poultry now that's grown the way that it used to be, where it's all farm raised and natural, and that's like $10 for a game hen when a regular one's like $4. Because now they call that organic.
Yeah, well, yeah, organically raised.
Yeah, it's organically raised, and it costs me $13. And when this pack of chicken breast is 7, so guess what you want? I'm getting.
Hmm.
See, that's why I do like living up here where there's like cattle farms, and I can go in with my parents and pay $5 to get a quarter of a cow, which is like 300 pounds of meat.
Did you say a quarter of a cow?
Yeah.
Well, at least you didn't say a corner of a cow, because I would have had to laugh and
No, like like we go in on a half of a cow. Like, when they butcher a cow, there's two halves.
well, I do have a fire grill right outside the door, so I had to go.
Yeah,
I'll be able to talk Kim into getting that smoker that we saw at Lowe's last year.
yeah, I want a smoker.
Yeah, I want to see what she can do with a smoker, because she's pretty much a grill master. She's pretty much a pit master. We just don't talk about it much because everything's so dang expensive now. And yes, I'm actively working to clean up my language when we're on air, because the Facebook police don't like us using certain four and 5 letter words. So yeah, we'll still be us. We'll just be less. Yeah, we'll just be less.
Grumpy.
No, I'm gonna still be grumpy. I don't know what the heck you talking about. Hell, what you talking about? Grumpy? Yeah, I'm always gonna be grumpy. It's just, yeah. But yeah, um, 2021, 2022, they're just like 2020. If I never had to see him or think about him again, too soon.
Yeah.
So Dre, you told us you was exhausted. So what's the story about you being exhausted? How you been?
Uh, I've been pretty good. Um, it was a rough couple. It was a rough couple of weeks. Uh, well, not weeks. It was a rough couple months. Well, not a couple months. It's just I had a situation that I had that I was going through that I'm actually proud of myself uh, on how I handled it. So that was good. That was great for me. Uh,
You don't sound too enthused. You don't sound confident about that. Great for you. It's like, well, I guess.
well, no, it's not that. It's just that I'm tired. I'm exhausted. Like but it really is because I mean, because this same situation, I would have acted really different, but uh, it happened again. Same, everything happened again, and then this time I was just like, okay. Well, I was just like, well, I mean, it is what it
Whatever.
is.
He's like,
Right.
whatever. I'm done here.
No.
Whatever.
And it seems like ever since that happened, things have been different. Things have changed and things have been on the up and up. Uh, I'm tired because I was at the game last night and I had to drive all the way back today. And
The game? Which game? Are you talking about
There
the?
was a game last night. What are you talking?
Are
well,
you talking about
it was a game. It was a
the
game.
record?
It was
Are
a
you talking about the
game.
record for the biggest beatdown in college football
It was a
history?
game. If if it was like I put that
Oh
in
my god!
quotations, it was a game, but uh, it was more like an execution. Uh, and it was like I had fun though. Um,
Of course, of course.
it was like a big old party. Just sucked that it rained a lot yesterday, but yeah, I've been doing okay. Like I said, there's been a couple of situations that I was in that I'm very proud of myself on how I handled it, and that just shows that I'm growing and healing because I'm not doing my old ways. So,
And we're proud of you too, sir.
but other than that, everything's been all right. I haven't really been, you know, I just celebrated being in my house for a year,
You did.
and
You did.
job's going good, and
Yeah.
LP was out here for Christmas, so
That's one thing I didn't talk about on my year. I did get to hang out with my nephew a few times, and that boy pretty much has the run of my house. It's terrifying. Even my dog stops being my dog when he gets here. She protects him. It's like what the.
I don't even be doing that to him, and y'all come right on over there, like to look around the corner, and like y'all good. So it's just like, but yeah, that was good. So yeah, I'm just going in 2023 with a open heart, open mind, and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to clear my head. I know, Matt. You don't have to give me producer cues, sir. I can see that I was thinking out loud. I do apologize. So yeah, there it is. Give me a minute. Wait. So the producer over here, Matt, and also the showrunner, and basically the
Creative
writer.
genius.
Yeah, he's basically he's the entire creative team. He titled this show called "The Weight of Being a Man."
Mm-hmm.
So I figured that would be a wonderful topic for us men to come back and talk about. So, if I still remember how to do it, let's get into this. Top- Shut up, Matt.
I don't even gotta say it. I just gotta laugh.
Shut up, Matt. So topic number one of this show is called carrying the burden or the quiet burden. I've already semi-disclosed some of what that sounds like and looks like is because the way that society makes you believe a man is supposed to be is no matter what's going on, no matter how difficult or painful things get, you're just supposed to suck it up, grit your teeth, and put one more foot in front of the other and keep going. Regardless if you got a katana sticking in your back, and you got some arrows shot in your chest, and you've got a gunshot wound on the side, and you got a person chasing you with a machete. You're just supposed to keep going. And you're not supposed to talk about it because a man is strong. A man doesn't show emotion. That man makes a man weak. But it's actually the opposite. forcing yourself to carry all that stuff silently makes you weak. And it weakens you in ways that you'll never understand because most of us are trained through repetition to shut out and shun things that we don't agree with. And not no offense, Matt, but black people mainly do this thing when it goes from the generation to generation is that, well, we survived this growing up as a kid, so but just because we survived it, just because we had to endure it, don't mean it was right. And just because we had to go through it does not mean our kids should have to go through it. It doesn't mean that our neighbor's kid should have to go through it. It doesn't mean our neighbor or our cousin or our brother should have to go through it. We grew. I'm not trying to single out Dre, but Dre understands we both have military parents. We grew up getting punched in the chest. Literally. We watched a football player get hit in the chest and literally die on the field and have to be resuscitated on national TV. So that shows you being hit in the chest could literally kill you. And that's how me and Drake grew up. We say something that they didn't like, or they didn't think they like, or we actually say, well, you said this, and now we're contradicting them, and you catch a palm to the chest. And don't you dare gasp for air after being hit in the chest. What you say? Oh, I know you ain't over there crying. I'd come over and give you something to cry for.
Something to cry about.
Yeah.
Well, one, you just hit this child. The natural reaction for someone smaller than you that just got hit with force is to cry. Because when we were newborns, nature's way of coding things has taught every animal on the planet, if something is wrong, cry. Your provider will eventually come see why you are crying. So if you, my provider, are the reason why I'm crying, and my natural reaction is to cry because something is wrong and I need someone to help me fix it, why are you threatening me for causing the thing that made me cry?
Yeah.
But growing up as a black man, that's part of the quiet burden that we have. We experience these things and we suppress them for so long that somehow, some way, they become second nature. So that's what we think we're supposed to do with our boys. I've heard so many people my age say, if I had a son and he did some of that crap, I'd bust his ass in the chest. So you gonna make the cycle repeat? I'm just saying, like, what are we doing?
Right.
Carrying the quiet burden.
It's not good for you.
It's a death sentence.
It really is. And not only is it a death sentence, if you do not die, you're not only handicapping yourself because now you don't know how to communicate. You're handcuffing the people around you because they don't know how to approach you. They'll never know what you're going. They'll never know what's going on in your head. And eventually they'll get to the point where they're not going to try to figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the carrying the quiet burden is not something that should be carried, because we say, oh, and I'm going back to my history in the black community. We say it as a joke all the time, but closed mouths don't get fed. But in this situation, is 100% true. How am I supposed to know if you're hungry if you don't tell me? How am I supposed to know that you're hurting if you don't tell me? How am I supposed to know you need help if you don't tell me, if you don't ask?
Right.
Being quiet is not always the best thing. Yes, there are situations where when you get into a situation and you're uncomfortable, then yeah, sure, be quiet. But you're not being quiet per se. You're observing. There's a difference between being silent and observing and being quiet because you refuse to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else got anything to say? Because I'm starting to feel like a Baptist preacher over here. Oh man,
We ready. Hey,
I
what's that
need one of
saying?
them pocket napkins so I can get over here and do one of these.
What's the saying?
And the church says,
What's the
"Amen."
saying? Let them cook. That's what we're
Right,
doing. Let
right,
you
right.
cook.
Well, let me go find a choir director and do one of these numbers so they can get the band
Right.
going and run around.
You did like Stetson. You did like Stetson last night. You did, doing your curtain call.
Oh, that was the Quavius, bro. That was the
That Quavius DeAndre Bennett.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Stetman was getting it too, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. It definitely was a party last night, minus the rain, and it was coming in
No, no,
sideways.
I think the rain made it. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I think the rain made it better. Because what better, what better symbolism when you have a man who was a walk-on at his school twice. With the first time he was told he's not good enough, he left and went to junior college to come back, to walk back on, to finally get a scholarship. And there was no rain on his parade.
Mm-hmm.
He conquered the rain and he raised that trophy twice in back-to-back years. And if you pay attention to Georgia sports like me and Dre do, our fan base will roast you for everything, even when it's not your fault. He don't play defense. Why the dogs he go 45 points? Bennett must suck. Wait.
Yeah, you know. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah. So it's I mean, me personally, it's more like I think the reason why we carry the quiet burden as men is because that's what we were taught. We were taught to we were raised off survival and not love. That's what it was. So
Yeah.
whenever we have a problem or whenever we have a situation going on, instead of we were taught to never to suffer, well, not really suffer in silence, but more like just push through it, and let things work out. The chips fall where they may. We were never used
Hmm.
to. We're not used to asking for help,
Yeah.
and it was. I know I was guilty of that, but I'm starting now to where if I know if I have an issue or if I have a problem, I'm going to definitely uh, express it now because you're getting a little. Me getting a little older, it was more like you have to. You have to express yourself because you carry that inside you, it's suppressed. It's gonna start to fester, and then, like Dexter said, it's gonna affect everything, not just you, but everybody around you, your job, just everything. It's like a poison that you're holding on to. You gotta let that go. Try to at least,
Yeah.
because I know that was my problem. I had that problem, and with the help of therapy, I'm starting to unlearn that. that type of behavior, and that's why I'm trying to give my son the tools to learn how to express himself without holding in, because I don't want him to feel like he's being raised on survival. He has to survive, or he has to walk on eggshells when he talks to me. I have to give him the avenue to be who he is. So, I think more men have to do that, especially with our sons, because that's your, like Dex said, that's your legacy. Your legacy. So you have to definitely have
Mhm.
to make sure they're good, because once you finally meet your maker, that's what them the ones that's gonna carry on your last name when he's gone. So I know it's hard sometimes because I talk to Dex a lot, and it's more so the quiet burden or whatever. But you gotta push through. But you also have to say, if I need help or if I need somebody to talk to, it don't even have to be it don't even have to be a solution. Just talk to somebody. Just say, I need to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody that's unbiased, or somebody that has your best interest in mind, and call you out on your bullshit if you're bullshitting too. Can't have a bunch of yes men, because enabling somebody that's doing self-destructive behavior, that's another thing too. That could definitely be a burden. So
Yeah. Dre's good at calling me out on my bullshit.
I mean, we all are. I mean, I've done stuff that you guys have. I've done stuff that you guys have called me out of, and
At this point, Matt don't call me out. He just kind of digitally chops me in the neck and just looks at me and I'm like,
yeah,
"Are you done
yeah,
being stupid?" Yeah, I
everybody
guess.
has you know, and that's what real friends do. Like,
Yep.
we've all, we've had our differences, me, Matt, and Dex. We've never always agreed on everything, but the thing with
And as we
us,
should, nobody should always agree with everybody else.
right? And the thing with us is that we know how to talk in an effective manner. Some people don't know how to
True.
do that. They take criticism with they think everybody's criticizing that's out to get them,
Yeah, they take
and that's
criticism
another
as
reason.
hatred. So yeah,
And that could
yeah.
be another burden that somebody's carrying, because now they're like, oh, I want to say something, but I'm not going to say anything, so I'm just going to suppress it, and that's another burden.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
you have to definitely get that out, because if you just hold it in, like I said, it's like a poison. You just holding it in your mouth and hope somebody else dies, and you end up dying. So yeah.
Yeah.
So you definitely have to, learn how to communicate in an effective manner, and you definitely have to talk to people if you have a bird. And it may not even be a solution, but at least get it out there to where it's like it's being talked about at least.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
What you got, Matt?
Pretty much what you guys were saying. We from the early age, we were, especially in the '80s, they're all our heroes. Everybody on the TV was the tough guy. You got the Arnie's, you got the Stallones. Everybody was that tough guy who doesn't matter if they got hurt, they smiled through it and kept going. And that's what we were taught from that young age. Is just to keep your head down, work hard, and don't make any fuss about anything. Your job is to provide, so you get out there and provide.
Yeah. True. True.
Like Ray
Which I
was
mean
saying,
that
you gotta
I'm not
you gotta
I'm not
break
even gonna
that cycle.
lie. Not even gonna lie. You can tell that he wrote this show, the damn producer over there, because that is the best segue we've ever had into our next topic, which is being the man. What it truly takes to be the man these days. And I hate to say it, but it's subjective because being the man doesn't what it mean in my house will not always be what it means in your house. Because and this is where the wife's show, Kim, Champagne Conversations, where they talk about love language and understanding love language and things like that. It plays into that to where, to me, Kim understands my love language to her and the kids is providing and protecting. So she's not looking for me to be all doty and lovey dovey and all that stuff. Hell, she knows if I do that and some that either I don't fucked up or I don't fucked up. So So, you know, so for me, being the man in my house means making sure that I'm making sure that the bills is paid, that the lights stay on, that these bellies stay full, and everybody's safe at the end of the day. Whereas in somebody else's house, that's probably just looked at as expected. And for somebody else, for a different type of woman, she's going to need that type of guy to where he's always there every week with flowers on Tuesday just because it was Tuesday and now it's a tradition, so it has to stay a tradition. It's she's going to need that. Well, babe, I just found out that my that the nail shop I go to raised their prices, so now getting my nails done isn't $50. It's 80. And he ain't gonna blink an eye. He's going, all right, cool, bet.
Mm-hmm.
So being the man is subjective. Being the man means having the right type of mindset and being able to balance and focus on what you need to balance and focus on without trying to force your goals and your feelings on someone else. And it took a long time. And I'm very guilty of it. It took a long time for me to realize that just because I don't like something doesn't mean it everybody else don't like either. Or I'm a Falcons fan. Why the hell isn't everybody else a Falcons fan? Because they're not. I eat my grits the way I eat my grits. That don't mean somebody else is going to eat them the same way.
Mm-hmm.
I eat grits all the way.
That's why me and Matt are brothers. You understand? You underheard me? That's the answer. That is the correct answer. I eat grits. That's the correct answer. How do you eat grits? I eat grits.
I put it in my mouth. That's how I eat grits.
How do you eat grits? With a spoon?
Yeah.
I don't need no fork. Don't put no shrimp. I don't need no fish. No, with a spoon. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Grits. But being the man is also being able to establish and respect boundaries. Being the man means being able to be told no and not take it as someone's trying to attack me because they didn't give me what I want.
It means admitting when you're wrong. We hate to do that. But you got to do it.
Absolutely. Because, and we're all guilty of it as men, we in some way want to be praised when we get it right. So we have to be able to take criticism when we get it wrong. Because we sure do criticize everyone else when they mess up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a two-way street. Just like being the man and being the woman, it just depends on your situation.
Mm-hmm.
What if you have a single mother? What you would call being the woman to her could be being the man for someone else. He's doing what he's got to do. She's doing what she's got to do to take care of her house. He's doing what he's got to do to take care of his house. Whatever they're doing, as long as they're not hurting you or kids, why do you care? That's what being the man means. It means knowing how to respect that boundary of that's not my life. I don't really care about what they do as long as they're not hurting themselves or as long as they're not crying out in some way saying, I need help. Because being the man also means you got to be willing to help when you know someone truly needs help. And you got to know how to communicate in a way so you can learn what's the best way to help that person. Because sometimes the best way to help them is to make them help themselves. Matt, what you got, bro?
Now, along with what you were saying, being the man also means learning to be emotionally honest and open.
Man, we ain't supposed to be talking about no motions. Motions. This
Yeah,
ain't
you
no.
heard me.
This ain't no ship. I ain't on no boat. You know, no motion in the
No, you,
ocean. And
you got to learn how to open yourself up and be honest with yourself and honest with other people. There's just a lot of people. Yeah, you can be honest with other people, but are you really honest with yourself? Are you telling yourself the truth when you're alone with yourself and alone with your thoughts? Or are you just lying to yourself to make yourself feel better about what you do?
myself.
Yeah,
You told me to tell myself the truth. The truth? No, I'm gonna tell myself whatever I want to tell myself that I want to believe in. I don't believe in that truth stuff. Oh boy. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. I had to get that one out. Wow, that one's been sitting on my chest for a little bit. I apologize for that one. But Matt, Dre, I'm really thankful that y'all were actually more hungry to come back than I was, and I appreciate y'all pushing. So let's hit this final topic and go and wrap this thing on up because
yes,
it's dinner
sir.
time. It's dinner time, and I think Bayface said we having butter chicken tonight. So
Yeah,
Nice.
I got some jambalaya in the cooker right now. I got about 3 more hours so I can eat it.
oh well, that means we also going to Dre House in 3 hours. So yeah,
All right, I'm right
buddy.
down the street, man. I'm right down the street, so
All right, all right, all right.
come
We
on
going to
down,
Dre.
man. Come on
We going to
down.
Dre House tonight.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here watching, doing this shit, and I got I just been chilling today. Like I ain't doing anything. I did laundry, and I just been sitting around the house waiting for
You know what I'm
it
gonna
to
do
kick
tonight?
off.
I'm gonna watch the Georgia Dogs beat up on TCU again, just like everyone else did when the Falcons lost the Super Bowl. They watched it over and over just so they can make fun of us. So I'm gonna watch it over and over so I can make fun of other people. Because when's the last time your team was there? Mine did it twice, back to back.
Back to
Only
back.
ones in college football playoff history.
Now they
So,
talking about with the odds
Repeat.
on favorite to win it again next year. So it might be a three-peat.
we go.
Yeah, let's go for six and
So we
make
the
it a
Bulls now.
dynasty.
So we the Bulls now. All right, all right, all right.
You know that it'll be funny if we beat Alabama on our way to winning that three-peat. All the Alabama fans will have a full meltdown, and it'll be one.
Or we could beat them in the title game
Oh, we
for
beat
the
them in the
3 peat.
title game. Yeah, that'll be like the cherry on the sundae.
I think all of Alabama would burn off the face of the map.
They would short
And
circuit like
part of Florida would too. So
they would short circuit if that was to happen. Like they really would.
you know what, UGA, we need to make that happen. You know, we're gonna have to go talk to some people. We need to make that happen. So 'cause, you know, we population control. Yeah. So
Well,
uh what do you do when doing your best? Just ain't enough.
Well, it's kind of like what you've been doing there, Dex. Well, life has been kicking you down pretty good, and you just pushed yourself to keep going. You've gone to the people that you know will have your back, and you know that you can rely on, and you've leaned on them and let them help carry you when you need to. And that's just what what it comes down to is when your best doesn't feel like it's enough, you've got to lean on the people beside you who will help you get through this tough time.
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause it darn sure feels like my best ain't enough right now.
And that's life, man. You're never going to be always on top. There's going to be times like right now when life is kicking you and you feel like, yeah, I can't get out of this, but it will end. You will find that toehold that helps you lift yourself up, and then there'll be the next one, and the next one, and the next one. It does happen. You can get yourself better, but you've got to rely on the people around you to help get you through those times when you don't think you can do it yourself.
Mhm.
Well, then I guess I'm grateful and lucky that you two are.
We ain't going nowhere. Even we
I think I'm stuck at this point. I don't. I forgot where the door was to leave, so I don't know. I've been here too long. You know, I just work here now. They bring me food, so I they bring me food and let me play video games, so I think I'm stuck. So sorry, but I uh
Honestly, I think as far as like, if you feel your best is not enough, I mean, at least you try. That's all I can say. It's better to
yeah
try. Not, it's better to try and don't feel you're good enough. But that's the first step. The first step of doing it, of doing something, is actually getting up and putting the energy into doing it. Especially if you want to make change within yourself. Because I know we was talking about the burden thing, but you definitely have to feel that sometimes it's your best, because
yeah
it's not always going to be the result you want when you put effort into something. But
yeah
you always gotta look at it as a lesson, and take you always have to take if it fails, or if you feel you're not going to, take the experience that you got from that lesson and use it for to apply it to parts of your life,
yeah
because we all know that life's unfair. It really is. Life's unfair. It's
uh,
uh it's not. Trust me, because there's been times where I just be like, you know, uh, when is enough is enough. And
yeah
I asked you guys, and I tell you guys, like, I feel like, especially with raising LP, I'm like, am I doing enough for him? Like, you second guess yourself, but then I think we get into our own heads sometimes, because a mind is a powerful thing that we have. And the crazy part about it is we only use like maybe like 10 or 15% of our brain. So just imagine we use the whole 100. That'd be spooky. So
yeah
because your mind will play tricks on you and tell you that you're not doing enough, in in reality you're doing just fine. You just have to condition yourself to you have to condition yourself to say, speak positive, and to be, you know, uh, content with what you do. Cause like you said, you know, trying and realizing you're not doing enough is better than not trying at all. You always gotta take that first step. First step's always the hardest step, and then it gets a little easy after a while. But you
yeah
gotta keep going, even if you feel it's not your best. Somebody is grateful that you are trying,
yeah
because me. I have a few people that depend on me, if I and even if I feel that I am not doing my best, somebody else might think differently.
yeah.
So,
I
and that's
know
all. That goes back to the second topic about that being a man. That's like part of your makeup as a man. You definitely have to be cognizant of your surroundings, and you have to be self-aware, and then you have to definitely have to just just keep trying. You know, eventually you're
yeah
gonna get around that wall. You're gonna go around it and go through it. So you just definitely have to keep trying, because the day that you stop trying is the day that you're gonna cease to exist.
yeah I
So
know
you definitely have to, you have to you have to tell yourself, like, okay, if, you have to get to a point where you're satisfied with what you're doing,
yeah
even if
yeah
it feels like it's not a lot. It might be. You never know.
yeah
So you keep
I
pressing.
know
Just keep
uh
pressing and keep pressing and keep pushing, and don't ever stop, because that'll be a bad thing.
yeah I know lately all I've been doing is I just push anyway. I try anyway. I know that overall big picture that I can't currently, I don't have the means to take care of everything, but I try. I try anyway because I played sports in high school And I've heard coaches say, just do it anyway. You never know what happens until it happens. There's been many a times where you'll see a kid terrified. Coach has called a play for him, the final seconds of the game. He's terrified. He don't want to touch that rock. He don't want that ball. The lights, the defense, everything getting ready to eat him up. And coach just tells him, just do it anyway. Just try.
Mm-hmm.
You never know. You never know. You might actually hit it.
Or you could inspire somebody to
right.
something.
And I listen. I still remember the words of my coach telling my friend who just said, "Coach, I'm just gonna miss. I'm just gonna miss." He's like, "And what if you don't?" In that one phrase is why somehow I keep going when there's nothing left. I have a tug of war with myself. I don't know how the hell I'm gonna make this happen. I don't know. But what if we do?
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way I've been getting through. That's the only thing I know. That's the only advice I can give on something like this one. I can't rightfully tell you something that works and don't work when I'm currently going through the situation where I know if I give 100% based on financial situations, the numbers will refuse to add up no matter what I do. But I'm trying anyway.
Mm-hmm. That's all you can do is try, bro. And you know we ain't gonna let you fold.
Yeah, then I have to deal with these stubborn too. So yeah, I try anyway.
I got a 16-year-old that he doesn't smell himself. He's not a bad kid, but you know how typical teenage boys,
Think they know it all.
they think they know it all, and it's like I'm looking in the mirror.
Lately, that's how I feel when I look at the kids. I feel like I'm looking in the mirror because I try to teach them the lessons that I learned by making my mistakes so they don't make them. One took all of the advice and doing great. She can avoid all the potholes that I've warned her are there. She knows how to avoid them. The other one doesn't believe anything until she steps into that pothole, breaks her ankle, and then needs help getting out the hole. So, yeah. Well, let's do what we do best. It's time for the benediction, or as Dre would call it.
What's Matt eating today? Absolutely. I mean, Dex got his butter chicken. I got my jambalaya, and Matt hasn't said what he's going to make yet. So,
Well, tonight we're doing. I got some leftover buttermilk chicken I made the other night, so we're heating that up and doing chicken burgers.
Oh hell no! What the?
that actually sounds quite lovely.
You hear you? Hey, I'm on the way. I'm on the way.
Right. He had me a chicken burger.
You shoot. I'm coming. Yep.
Yeah, I got about if I can read it. I got about 3.5 hours till it's done. So
3.5 hours, 9:30. You got work tomorrow?
Yeah, that's why I'm cooking it now because
Never mind. I'm about to say I'll be over there at 9:30. Don't worry about it.
Oh, you got a key. You got the alarm. So just let me know. I'll probably be on the couch once I get done with this. I'm gonna get on the. Once I get done with this, I'm gonna get on the couch and probably pass out. So, because like I said, I tried to sleep a little bit, then I couldn't because I was kept thinking about the game, and then I was like, I didn't want to oversleep because I knew we were going to show tonight. So I was just like, let me stay up. But as soon as we get off and sit right on that couch, and I'll probably just see the back of my eyelids.
Yeah. So
hit the vape pen once or twice and pass out.
Yep.
Actually, I got a edible I'm gonna take. So yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh wait, can
Oh,
we say edible? I don't want you to. We're trying to get monetized. I don't want to say edible.
I think we can say edible. It's
Okay,
just-
I don't want to. I don't want to promote drug use.
I think
You
it's a
know,
little late for
drug
that.
use.
I already smoked the bong at the beginning.
Well, that's why I did drug use. So I don't want to. I don't want us to influence the community.
My face hurts. I already marked the channel for adults, so we
And then plus, it's not drugs anyway. It should be legalized. That's my opinion. But, oh well,
It's legal where you guys are. It's legal where I am. So as far as I'm concerned, we should be good.
Yeah,
buddy.
it should be legal everywhere. But that's another story. So, go ahead with the benediction because I know all of us gonna have to eat, and
Yeah.
I know Matt's got to get out of here so he can go and get his chicken burger, which sounds amazingly good right now.
Honestly, it's been over a year, and I really don't truly have a real benediction. Just know we never planned on leaving. These guys just kind of put things on pause to accommodate me when I was working a very hectic and painful schedule with the Phoenix Suns, and I'm grateful for them for riding with me. I'm going to eventually try to get back to streaming. The video games, as my grandma would call them. But yeah, I'm kind of in a weird mental space, but I'm happy to be back, and I'm glad that we did this, and I hope that everybody also is willing to tune in to the lovely wife Kimberly Latisse on her channel and watch Champagne Conversations, and I believe she moved that to Wednesdays, so I can help her with her show on my other off day, so that's even better for me. Just I guess my benediction is just thank you. I gotta say a real personal thank you to these two, to Matt and to Dre, for keeping the old dog above the ground. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's been a long ride.
You.
Yeah, it's been a long ride.
The ride ain't over yet, man.
It is not.
Yeah. I miss my sister.
Yeah, it could be hard. Like I said, I had my situation. It comes and goes, but it's not.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect me like it did before, and I'm proud of that. So
Yeah. I never really get emotional until I get back in front of the camera, knowing that that's what she was doing when she passed away. So it kind of fucks with me a little bit.
mm-hmm.
All right, Matt, what you got?
Just don't forget to love each other and lean on each other in life. Like we were talking about today, every male out there is taught from an early age to hold it all in and to not let people know what you're feeling. But don't be afraid to. Don't be afraid just to let people know that you love them, that you miss them, that wish things had gone differently. If it's somebody that you're not talking to anymore, that you wish you were still talking to them, stuff like that. Don't be afraid to let people know the truth about what you're feeling.
Yeah. We broke Matt there for a second, ladies and gentlemen. On that's the first.
My brain didn't want to go.
Yeah.
You thinking about that chicken burger?
Yeah.
So, breaking news for any of our viewers who follow wrestling in any way, shape, or form. But if you do, Stephanie McMahon, she has resigned from the WWE. So, yeah, I think things are getting bad over there in Hartford, Connecticut.
Vinny's back to mess it all up again.
Yeah. He's trying to sell the company, so sounds like he's gutting things to make it more.
It was just starting to get good too because I was watching it. So now I guess I'm like, okay, that was good. It was fun while it lasted.
We'll see how
that's
long
exactly
Triple
what
H is involved with the creative side. If he's still doing that, then it should be good. As long as Vinny doesn't veto everything.
Here's hoping.
But he's bitter. He's a bitter old man. A bitter
He
old man.
he really is. He really is. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us as we ventured back in front of the microphones.
Feels good to be back.
To do this. We are now on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Because
and all the other time zones can figure that shit out.
It's 5 o'clock for Mountain Standard, so you know what I'm saying. And for the out time zone people, sorry.
It's 4 o'clock Pacific Standard.
Yeah, then. So, but yeah, we do appreciate you guys joining us again and coming along for the journey. And I promise not to be a mess next week.
No guarantees, bro.
Yeah. But we appreciate you all, and you guys take care. Later, everybody.
Nice.